With the improvement of technology in almost all fields of work, there is a high chance that before long, we could be sharing our planet with a well-populated mechanical menagerie. And with that in mind, let's see some of the most amazing robotic animals out there. Technological advancements that include a variety of specifications, from face recognition on demand, all the way to second life being given to dead spiders. However, this time around, as robotic grippers. Number 10. Robotic ant teacher. When the term robot is mentioned, we often think that it's something that has been designed to work on our behalf. And in this case, the robot does not work for us, but for ants. Rock ants, a species of ants known to be good at teaching, especially when it comes to finding a new nest better than the present one, was something that intrigued researchers at the University of Bristol, and they wanted to find out if they understood the underlying mechanisms behind teaching behavior, and created the so-called ant teacher to duplicate the process. Then, they took the scent glands of a real ant and placed them upon their robot. And then, using their cyborg machine, they managed to teach other ants how to find a better nesting site, which proved that their project was a successful one, managing to replicate the teaching behavior observed in natural colonies. Number 9. Biohybrid zebrafish. Scientists at Harvard managed to create a tiny robotic fish that could pave the way to an artificial heart for use in human patients. Everything stemming from the hope of the scientist of understanding the constituent parts that make up a human heart. Strangely enough, the muscles of a fish's tail are similar in some respects to the paired muscle activity in the human heart, which is also why a fish is capable of swimming constantly. With this in mind, a fish made up of paper, gelatin, and human cardiac cells was made, and when it was put in a liquid cell media to keep the tissues fed, the fish was able to swim for more than 100 days. Thus, the ability to build a system that self-regulates and achieves continuous activity could provide a foundation for an artificial human heart being made in the near future. Number 8. Crab microbot. Nature loves making crabs, and despite not being fully understood, a group of scientists built an array of sub-millimeter robots capable of bending and moving over surfaces in reaction to light. The robots are relatively simple. They do not rely on moving parts, but rather are inspired by pop-up books. The researchers cut out the basic shape of the robots before bonding them to a piece of stretched rubber, and when the rubber relaxed, the robots deformed into crab-like shapes. However, the material remembered its flat shape and wants to return to it. However, when light is shunned, the materials of the microbot relax for a short duration, and as it cools down, it deforms once again. So the intermittent deforming and relaxing of the microbots cause them to crab walk over surfaces, something that can be used in the future, particularly in medical treatments inside the body. Number 7. Magnetic tentacle robot. Scientists from the University of Leeds looked at several tentacle animals in order to get enough inspiration for their design of the next generation of investigatory and therapeutic tools. Using a rubbery elastomer, the team managed to create something similar to a conventional bronchoscope, however, equipped with enhanced maneuverability and functionality. This robot, made of flexible materials and magnetic particles, coupled with an external magnetic control system, allows the device to make its way deep into the human lungs without being manually manipulated by a surgeon. This tentacle robot is also able to scan the patient's lung anatomy and has a previously set plan that makes it completely autonomous once it gets inside the body. Number 6. Soft octopod. The cephalopods are impressive creatures, not only because of their intelligence, but also because of their unique bodies that allow them to squeeze into areas more rigid animals could never get access to. Taking it all in, scientists from Harvard developed the world's first completely soft autonomous robot through a combination of 3D printing and fluid dynamics. A microfluidic logic circuit printed inside the robot works as a circuit board, or rather, the brain of the robot, which by applying pressure to different parts of the robot and the chemical reaction inside the robot itself changes a small amount of hydrogen peroxide into a large amount of gas, which helps the robot move. Number 5. Spot Mini. One of the most popular companies that have made waves in this field of technology is Boston Dynamics, especially with their reveal of the dog-inspired quadruped robot named Spot. Now, there is an improved version of the robotic animal called Spot Mini, which in comparison to its predecessor is much lighter and has a head, something that was never seen before at any of the robots that Boston Dynamics released up until that point. Spot Mini is equipped with various sensors, cameras, and a robust perception system that enables it to perceive its surroundings. It can be controlled remotely using a handheld controller or operated through software interfaces. This robot is very adaptable due to its limbs, which help it to open doors, navigate through cluttered spaces, and perform complex maneuvers. Number 4. Batbot. The Batbot, also known as B2, is a project that is intended to help scientists investigate bats more thoroughly through its movement. The Batbot is surprisingly effective, both aesthetically and mechanically, built upon an exoskeleton that mirrors to some degree the living bat. On top of the structure, the scientist also attached a flexible material that likewise mirrors the stretching and flexing of a bat's wings. And unlike other machines that rely on rotors that keep them aloft, the Batbot flies the same way as a bat or a fly does, by flapping its wings. And while it is not entirely copied, the movement, if seen from afar, might give you a hard time distinguishing it from the real thing. Or at least, until you see its ghostly, semi-transparent sibling. Number 3. Sophie. More often than not, when the exploration of the natural environment is at hand, there is always a risk that the simple presence of humans could disrupt the entire ecosystem. And that is why scientists at MIT have created Sophie, a soft robotic fish solely designed to explore aquatic environments. It is equipped with onboard sensors and a camera that utilizes natural motions more seamlessly to integrate itself into an ocean environment. Plus, it benefits a whole lot from being totally untethered. The robot is operated through acoustic signals, which direct it to change speed and direction, or even dive up to 18 meters deep. Past experiments that include Sophie showcase successful navigation through the complex environment of a coral reef, all while avoiding the other living organisms in those areas. It has also been said that future scientists intend to use Sophie to explore the ocean without human interference, and may even involve large schools of robotic fish working in tandem. Number 2. Spacebot. Dogs famously went to space before humans ever could, and by the looks of things, it looks like dog-shaped robots might be headed there too. However, when astronauts first went to the moon, they learned that walking as they did on Earth is not the best way to get around, as a result of the lower gravity. And that is where Spacebot comes in. The quadruped robot was built by a student team from ETH Zurich and ZWAH Zurich, and designed to take advantage of dynamic gaits wherein all 4 limbs sometimes leave the ground. Animals on Earth sometimes take advantage of similar gaits due to their efficiency. With any luck, Spacebot could soon be hopping on the moon, Mars, or asteroids sometime in the relatively near future. Yet another small step for man, but a big one for all of mankind. Number 1. Spider necrobots. Up until today, there is no more a lifelike robot than one which is made from a decaying flesh of a dead animal. Yeah, you heard me right. And scientists from Rice University set out on an endeavor of giving dead spiders a second life as robotic grippers by taking advantage of their naturally occurring hydraulic system. You've probably noticed that when spiders die, their legs curl toward the underside of their bodies, and that is because they do not have antagonistic muscle pairs. To make it simple, it is as if they have biceps just like us, but no triceps. Thus, they curl toward one direction without force. By inserting a syringe, scientists gave their corpses an alternative hydraulic system and deployed a small amount of air into their cavities. As a result, their legs extended and closed again when the pressure was released. And despite being creepy, researchers think these kinds of necrobotic grippers could be useful for carrying fragile cargo like biological samples gathered in the field. See you in the next video.